It's the Full Court Press with Eric Franson and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to the to the show that we're doing right now.
Following the local teams, breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interviews.
There's going to be much higher expectations, sense of awareness of what we bring to the table.
Join the show by calling into 435-752-1069 or text 435-339-0321. It's the Full Court Press.
Throws, ends it. Yes! Caught! Touchdown! They did it!
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Eric Franson, Jason Walker with you here in the 5 o'clock hour. Shortened show for us. We've got the Armed Forces Bowl coming up later this hour. Kickoff is at 5:30. That will feature Air Force and Baylor. One of a number of bowl games we're airing on this station that will feature Mountain West teams. So we've got some college football coming up later this hour. We're also continuing to keep an eye on what's going on between Utah State and Seattle at the Hawai'i Airlines Diamond Head Classic at the Stan Sheriff Center in Honolulu. And kind of a cold start for USU. Defense has been strong the entire game. But here in the second half, offense is starting to flow for Utah State, and they lead 57-38. But when guys have open shots, they have to take them, Jason. We just saw another one with Rylan Jones. Had a good look down low in the paint, and he opts to pass it off, and it gets knocked away.
Yeah, but he and Ashworth are really hesitant to take shots inside the arc because they're just too short.
Well, he didn't have anybody around him.
Yeah.
But he opted to try to make a pass to get Akin down low at the rim, and it got knocked away. But one of the big storylines here in this game is Utah State defensively doing a solid job. Taylor Funk struggled in the first half with his shot, but, frankly, he's struggled for a game and a half, but it's really started to come alive for him, and Utah State is stretching their lead here in this second half over Seattle. And Funk now has 11 points, tying Ashworth and Bairstow, and Akin not far behind them with 9 off the bench.
As you'll see in just a moment, he's about to get to 11.
Okay.
Broadcast is behind where I got, so he just hit a pair of free throws.
Oh, free throws. He's at the free throw line.
Yeah, he just went to the free throw line, made both of them, so now he has 11. So very balanced scoring. And even though the Aggies gave up a couple of quick baskets to Seattle, they're still holding him under 30% from the field overall, 13% from three. But certainly one thing that Seattle's doing, they have 14 offensive rebounds. So if they get one more, they're actually going to have 15, which would match the most they've given up this year. San Diego had 15 rebounds against Utah State, but Utah State won that game. I was actually curious after that game. I looked up what Utah State's record is when they allow 15 offensive rebounds. So I'll ask you this. So I'll tell you that so I'll exclude this game just to avoid bringing on the wrath of the basketball gods. But so we'll say 24 games since 2010. That's how many times Utah State's given up 15 offensive rebounds. How many of those 24 games do you imagine Utah State won?
I can't imagine there would be very many. I'd probably say 24 games, giving up 15 offensive rebounds. I'll say 8.
15.
Really? 15?
15 out of 24, which to give you an idea, you play a 33-game season, which is fairly typical for a Mountain West team. That's a 20-win season. So when Utah State gives up 15 offensive rebounds, they play like a 20-win team, even then. It's weird.
That's odd.
And they're not necessarily alone. There's a lot of teams that win even when they give up that many offensive rebounds. And it probably is related to just when you give up that many offensive rebounds, it means you're playing really good defense.
By the way, Rylan Jones picked up his 4th foul, going to the bench. 3 assists, 3 points, 1 steal, 2 boards for Jones so far in this game. He's really the only Aggie in foul trouble. No one has more than 2. Nobody else has more than 2. But today, while they are giving up offensive boards, they are really making it difficult for Seattle to score. Even if they get those second chance opportunities, they're not necessarily leading to points. And so they're still only like 28% shooting 13% from three, and only 3 of 22 from beyond the arc. And that was a problem in the Weber State game. It has been historically a problem this season for USU in that perimeter defense, and doing a much better job today in Hawaii.
Yeah, definitely does so much better. This is a game you can build defensively off of, saying, here, look, let's watch this film. This is when you played really good on defense. You forced them into bad shots. Obviously work on rebounding. You can certainly use this film for learning more about yourself in terms of rebounding. But this is where you say, look, you can defend. We saw that against UVU. We saw it against Bradley. We're seeing it now again here. They've gotten back to being able to defend very well. So now it's just going to be about building off of this. They're not going to have a game like this every night defensively, but it's something to work on. Because you play better against Weber State defensively, specifically 3-point defense, then you probably win that game. And and if you play this well on defense, even if teams are still hitting shots, then you're going to give yourself a much better chance in some of these potentially really tough Mountain West games.
435-339-0321. If you want to chime in on the Full Court Press, as we're keeping an eye on Utah State and Seattle in the Diamond Head Classic. This is game number 1 for USU in this tournament that's taking place in Hawaii. And they're guaranteed 3 games, but we don't know who they'll play besides the opener. We do know that SMU knocked off Iona earlier today, so SMU is waiting to see who wins this game. Iona will get the loser. Right now, Utah State with a 20-point lead with just over 8 minutes to go. Aggies with a solid steal and push up the court, and Bairstow with another flush. But Utah State were really winning this game by and large because of their defense, which has been really needed.
Yeah, their offense has been good. They were a bit cold to start the game, but they're shooting 47% from the field. This is a team that shoots a hair over 50% on the season, so you're slightly below your average. You're about 10 percentage points below your 3-point average, which is like 47. Or no, it's 44, actually. So they're not too far behind because they're shooting 36 from the 3. So this isn't your 90-point game they've been putting up, but it's good offense. There's nothing to thumb your nose at about this offensive performance. But yeah, it's all about defense. Still holding Seattle below 30% from the field, which I'm really hoping they hold that because then I can look up and see how many times they've done that.
Yeah, I mean, the Aggies are at 63, and there's still 8 minutes to go. So they could easily get, push up close to 80 points in this game.
Yeah, they could. I know I was bummed out because they didn't get to 75 points in the last game, which would have kept them on track to match, I think it was 1986-87, where the team had like 16 straight games of 75 points to start the year. That's like the only time they've ever come close to that. But then they didn't. They scored 72, so. And you didn't get Culver's.
No free ice cream.
I think Culver's was happy about that loss. Finally, we don't have to give everyone ice cream.
By the way, it looks like more free throws. Like Seattle seems to be trying to do a better job of attacking the Aggies down low and have been making several trips to the free throw line. So we'll see how Utah State can handle this. An attacking pressure at the rim. They got Homoda committed a foul. Now Akin has committed a foul. And as we mentioned earlier, Jones, he's at 4 fouls and he's on the bench. But Seattle trying to change up their tactics a little bit here, putting pressure on USU at the rim.
I tell you, it's not worked so far. They started 4 of 5 on their layups. Seattle did. Now they're like 10 of 22, which, what is that, all of 6 of 17 on layups after the first couple of minutes? That's not very good.
That's not very good.
That's
it's tough to win many games doing that.
That's like 35% on your layups. That's the percentage I shoot on layups when I play pickup ball. You'll notice I'm not out there playing Division I college basketball.
So we'll keeping an eye on this game. About 8 minutes to go. Meanwhile, a few other things to get through. Earlier in the week we've had so many different things going on, Jason, that we never really got a chance with you and I on the show together to go through and figure out who won pick 6 from last week. So you don't know the results. You haven't known what the outcomes were. So we're going to reveal it now. It's about 4 days late, but we're still going to go through and see how well we did in trying to figure out or predict the weekend. So one of the picks was minutes by Zapala. This was for the game against Westminster. And you set the line at 12.5. You took the over. I took the under. He had 14 minutes. So you got that one. Kessler rebounds versus the Pelicans. This was the second game against the Pelicans when they were in Salt Lake last week. The line was set at 11.5. We both took the under. He had 8. So we both got that. So you're 2 for 2. Goals in the World Cup Championship. The line, you set the line at 3.5. I took the under. You took the over. Crushed it. It was 6 goals.
There you go.
Not counting the penalty kicks at the end. So 6 goals. So you're 3 for 3 going into it.
Not bad.
Zion Williamson points versus the Jazz on Thursday. Line was set at 28.5. You took the over. I took the under. He scored 31. So you're a perfect 4 for 4 at this point. Not looking too hot for me. USU net ranking as of Monday morning. So this was before the Weber State game. Line was set at 12.5. I took the under. You took the over. And they came in at 10. So I got that one. So I'm at 2. You're at 4. Doesn't really matter the outcome on this final one, but we'll say it nonetheless. UNLV over San Francisco. And UNLV we predicted by 3.5. We both took the over. It was actually San Francisco who won.
Yeah, that was pretty
75 to 73.
I was pretty confident UNLV was going to cover that. I pretty much brushed San Francisco off, and no, they made me look foolish.
So San Francisco with a win over UNLV earlier in the week, and then they just picked up another win over Arizona State. So that win by Utah State over San Francisco on a neutral site is looking better and better all the time.
Now I just need San Francisco to beat Gonzaga. Just keep pushing that NET up.
Well, that'd go a long way.
Max Schulgel's on double-double watch right now.
Yeah, so play is resuming, and Schulga, he has...
If he makes his free throws, though. He might have 10 rebounds and less than 10 points.
Yeah, he's got 9 rebounds and 6 points from what I'm seeing.
The rare double-single with rebounds.
Akin also has 7 boards with 13 points.
So he's on double-double watch, too.
Yeah.
Got to actually get so Seattle got the 15th rebound, so if Utah State closes out this game, they'll advance to 16 wins out of 25. So what is that, 16-9? Since 2010 in games where they allow 15-plus offensive rebounds.
That's crazy. Ashworth with 4 steals today.
Yeah, he's doing good. He had 2 of those early, and it helped get them some offense early on where they weren't falling behind Seattle when Seattle was actually having offense and Utah State was struggling. Not that it would matter in the end because Utah State got hot and shut Seattle down. But yeah, Seattle with 9 turnovers.
Utah State up 64 to 43. About 7.5 minutes to go. We've got a shortened show today. We've got the Armed Forces Bowl coming up at 5:30. It'll be Air Force versus Baylor, and we'll have it right here on The Fan, full play-by-play coverage. One of several bowl games that we're going to have on this station, including the bowl game on Tuesday between Utah State and Memphis. So we'll have bowl season radio providing full play-by-play for us. We'll have a special 2-hour pregame, 2-hour plus pregame, to be honest, here on The Fan and on KVNU. And then the bowl game kicks off at about 1:15 on Tuesday. And then as soon as the game is over, we'll have KVNU Aggie Call. And once again, simulcast here on The Fan and on KVNU. So Aggie fans, wherever you are, driving around, doing things between Christmas and New Year's on Tuesday, make sure you have your radio with you because we're going to be able to hear the Aggie game as it's played out all over northern Utah and southeast Idaho, which would be nice for a lot of Aggie fans. And then before the game and after the game, we'll have our own programming for the pregame and for the postgame, getting your reactions and your comments as to what happened between the Aggies and the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, tomorrow, here on the Full Court Press, we'll give our own preview for the Aggies and the Tigers, what we see on the schedule, what their schedules look like, what their key personnel are, what the matchups look like, and storylines going into this. And so that will be a big focus of tomorrow's show here on the Full Court Press. We're going to take an early timeout because we'll have a shortened show, so we got a few more things we need to get in. But again, Utah State taking on Seattle in Hawaii. Aggies lead 66-45, about 7 minutes to go. Now it's 67-45. Aggies up
69-45.
60. Wow, there we go. Over Seattle in Hawaii. More updates on that coming up next on the Full Court Press.
Happy holidays, and thank you for letting Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, the Allergy Clinic, and the Hearing Aid Center take care of your family medical needs. Make sure you call now for an appointment before the end of the year to utilize your cafeteria funds. Located in Providence and the new Three Peaks Medical Plaza, North Logan. The entire staff, along with Drs. Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette, wish you a safe and wonderful holiday. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance products included. Select Med are accepted.
Prodigy Brewing has so much appreciation and gratitude for the warm embrace Cache Valley has given us. We want to invite you to join us for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our Sunday-only brunch menu features sweet and savory options such as churro French toast, chilaquiles, fried chicken egg sandwich, and a Bloody Mary bar. You also won't want to miss our hash browns. Whether you're out with a family or friends, Prodigy Brewing is the place to be in Cache Valley. Open 7 days a week, located at 25 West Center Street in beautiful downtown Logan.
Thermo Fisher Scientific is hiring for their manufacturing, distribution, and warehouse team. And that's great news for anyone seeking a rewarding career. Thermo Fisher offers positions across multiple shifts, competitive compensation, health benefits, paid time off, bonuses, and an excellent work environment. Help Thermo Fisher make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. Visit jobs.thermofisher.com and search Logan. Thermo Fisher Scientific is an equal opportunity employer.
It's never too cold or wet to get rid of that old vehicle. Now is the time to earn extra cash for the holidays by calling DD Auto and Salvage. Let them pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles, paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204.
That's 787-1204 today.
See store for details.
Breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interviews. It's the Full Court Press with Eric Franson and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to Full Court Press. Eric Franson and Jason Walker. Aggies up 69-47 over Seattle. Just a little over 6 minutes to go in this one. But one other game earlier today in the Mountain West action, Santa Clara beating Boise State 73-58. Boise had a 9-game winning streak going, and Santa Clara snapped that. Aggies faced and beat Santa Clara earlier in the year. And later tonight at 8 o'clock, it's going to be UNLV and Southern Miss. And Southern Miss is like a top 25 team in the net. But when I looked at their schedule, it's kind of like where some might be looking at USU's and wondering, how did you get so high in the net? Not a lot of recognizable teams on their schedule whom they've defeated. But you win games and you have a strong winning percentage of your own, and that helps a lot. But anyway, they're going to be at UNLV, and this will be a good opportunity for UNLV to get a solid win and help the conference out as they tip that off at 8 o'clock in the Thomas and Mack.
Yeah, should be exciting. I'll see if I can keep an eye on that. I'm trying to keep my eye on this Utah State game. And I'm hoping they keep Seattle under 30% shooting, because then I can use that stat in my recap and probably tweet it out.
Well, right now they're at 29.3.
Yeah, they're holding them. They've been holding them in the 28 to 29. It's been going back and forth. You know, every time, Seattle makes a shot, it's like, okay, they're creeping closer, but you got 5 more minutes and probably a couple of minutes of, scrubs getting onto the – I shouldn't say scrubs. It's kind of insulting. But
Bench players.
We'll say end of bench guys is usually the term I've tended to go with. And that's just kind of a crapshoot as to whether or not one team randomly goes on a 6-0 run.
The Cam curse hasn't necessarily been broken. He's still playing well, but it's not leading to his team's victory.
17 points on 18 shots. That's not the worst thing in the world, but obviously leading scorer in the game. He's just not been very efficient about it. Although he's got 4 fouls, he might foul out soon here.
Yeah, they've got 3 players with 4 fouls. Utah State only has 1 with Rylan Jones. But Utah State, a number of guys in double figures. Funk with 11, Shulga with 12. He's scored he had 6 points in a row for the Aggies. Ashworth with 11, Bairstow with 13, and Akin with 13 off the bench. And you're right, we do have a double-double watch for a couple players because Shulga's got 9 rebounds and Akin has 8.
Well, so I can see into the future because Shulga already got that 10th rebound.
So
he's about to get a rebound here if you watch the TV you're on. And yep, there he is. He got it. So yeah, and Stephen Ashworth's also coming alive. I can see into the future on your TV screen. He's about to hit a 3-pointer.
Yeah, I just saw he hit a 3, but then they gave up a 3.
Did they? Now they're at 30%. Ashworth's going to hit another 3 though, really quickly.
All right, so you're very clairvoyant.
I know. It's almost like I have something in front of me that's the stat broadcast is way ahead. They just hit another 3, I think. Oh, that was a 2.
So now they're at 77.
They are catching fire on offense. I was saying this is not their best offensive game. They're going to hit 80 points with a little under 4 minutes to go unless they just stop scoring.
Yeah, so it's turning out to be a strong second half offensive output for Utah State. And I wonder, at what point does Ryan Odom pull his guys? Because he knows he has a game tomorrow with the team that just had an upset that's probably feeling pretty good about themselves. And you give some of your bench some run in a situation like this. You're up 29. In fact, there's maybe some substitutions coming here after this timeout. And players getting substituted. Yeah. Ashworth looks like he's heading to the bench.
Yeah, when you're up 29, you're looking at around 3 minutes. I know there's a calculation out there that's analytical final, you have one that it's impossible to come back. Certain times, corresponding to certain leads, and you'd be surprised how little time it takes, for supposedly analytically to be able to come back from, double digit. Because I think into the last minute you can still come back from double digit, at least by this analytical measurement. So now a 32-point lead. At this point you're looking at probably 2.5 minutes where most of your main guys are going to the bench. Granted, Utah State only has 3. Well, they have Brenchley, Gillis, and you should probably put Zapala out there. We don't need Dan Akin out there.
Yeah, Akin could probably take a breath.
But they'll probably at about 3 minutes. Connor Odom, Coach Odom's son, I believe he's been having some minor injuries, so he's not been available because otherwise he would go in these situations. And dadgummit, Seattle got over 30% from the field.
Is it going to stay that way?
It's 30.2%. So if they miss a shot, they're going to go back under.
Z Hamoda getting some nice run. He hit a 3 earlier. And so he's on the double-digit watch as well. So you're going to, if he gets one more bucket, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 6 Aggies in double figures. For the game.
Yeah, that'd be pretty impressive. Get Idle Rock in there and you'd have, 11 players score?
Yeah, Idle Rock's on the court, but he hasn't been able to score yet.
Yeah, he's taken the one shot. He's only played, I think this is his first, I think he played a stint earlier.
Yeah, he was in the game earlier, didn't play very much. But looks like Utah State's going to be able to wrap this one up, and we're about to wrap our show up as well. We've got to make way for the Armed Forces Bowl, and that will kick off at 5:30. Brief pregame and introduction from Bowl. I always forget their name. Bowl Season Radio, because that will. They'll give. They're the ones who will be providing the full play-by-play. But as soon as that basketball game does go final here in just a few minutes, we'll have post-game on KVNU. It'll be KVNU Aggie Call with Al Lewis and John Russell. Jalen Moore will also offer some of his thoughts about the game and how it played out. But it looks like Utah State's going to be able to take care of business here. Currently up 82-53 in this one with just a couple of minutes left. But that will be starting here just in probably about 10 minutes or so on KVNU for the post game. But we'll be back here tomorrow with pregame and our thoughts for the Utah State and Memphis Bowl game coming up on Tuesday. Until then, have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.